Hello everybody, всем привет. Today I'm going to work on battle animations. You can see I fixed, there was a problem with the rendering behind the hero locators. When you would enter a battle screen, it would change the color to red or white, and you may have seen that in some of the battle screen triggering events in previous videos, but I fixed that recently and it wasn't worth a whole video. I'm just mentioning it in passing now. But right now, what I want to work on is improving my attack animation in particular. Okay, well we do have the low morale hitting certain creatures here, but when creatures fly, the flying animation seems okay, but creatures walking. Well, creatures walking isn't right, and actually the dragon attacked up instead of down when he counterattacked this guy. So this poor peasant. And here's the best example is the paladin. This is the best example of what is broken. See, he's like going one step forward, one step back, and I have really rotten morale. This is pretty terrible. We can try it again with the centaur. There's just this choppiness to it. And it's just not what I want. So let's see if we can deploy it again here. And hopefully we don't get the same bad morale, but just watch the paladin here. He steps forward and then kind of jumps back. So I was just really annoyed with that animation, and I was like, something weird is going on. So, you know, let's have a look. Let's have a look at what that is. So I uploaded all my battle screen stuff, my game main, my documentation about the battlefield sprites and battlefield rendering, and a lot of these different, basically just all the different animation frames for the walking, the different animation frames for attacking, all of the stuff that is in my, that's decoded from my HOMM1 extract that extracts it from the heroes AGG file. And so some of the sprites, the paladin, for example, the creature stack is meant to attack up, down, or across. And sometimes it seems like the down attack animation is used for the up. Can you check that? Also want to check the walking animation. Here's the code files. I want to improve the attack directions, so I explain the lower rows and the upper rows, and mirroring. So when creatures attack behind them, the sprites should flip and mirror. And then the orientation is determined by hex tiles, and the midpoint view of a side of the hex tile indicates the direction of the attack. This is for melee attacks. We already have logic for ranged attacks. So goes through, looks at a few things. Have to continue. It actually inverts these directions and thinks that we got them backwards when we didn't. So I think I have to go back and redo that one. But let me see what the improved animation build is that was a result of this. So just one second. So it takes a stab at improving the walking animation, and it attempts to improve the attacking backwards animation. So the attack animation for the Paladin and the Peasant is somehow reversed now. Attack up and attack down are now inverted. Let's see if that's this build. I'm not sure. Let's find out. So we still have the same incorrect animation. Paladin's taking a beating. Let's hit that guy. Hit that guy. Skip, skip. So the dragon attacked up, and yeah, he attacked up to attack him down. So this was the build after this, which was having these weird issues. So we basically need to revert those. Same thing with the dragon and the cyclops and the others with extended breath attacks. The animation works fine for flying, but for a path, we should animate more for flying distance. For walking frames, it seems like your change improved it a little bit, but it was it the inclusion of all the animation frames? You know, what was it? What was going on? And I'm not really articulate here, so I'm making some random suggestions, like maybe we don't need to reset the final sprite every tile. Maybe we just use 3 of the 5 frames. Maybe walk-in, WIP stands for walk in place. I'm not sure what. I'm just kind of throwing some darts here with the AI, seeing if it makes any improvements. It really doesn't. This is really a human wasting tokens versus the AI wasting tokens. I'm guilty of that here. It tries to speed up the flyers by setting the animation rate to 0.5, which I actually think is backwards. I think the animation rate should go to 2. So that was weird for me. And it tried to do this walking sync pullback. So it did some computation of steps, etc. And then I got a better idea. I wanted to upload a video, but I decided to instead, I took the frames. I took a video of the screen. With Windows, you can do this with the screen, the snipping tool. You can take a video, and so I got it. It gives me the 3, 2, 1, and then I clicked go with the Paladin. So I got a little video of the Paladin walking. And then I pulled up the video in a little video editor. I think I'm using LosslessCut here, and I'm going frame by frame through it. This is frame 20, where our Paladin is here. And then I'm going to show you frame 21. The Paladin jumps back on frame 21. So he suddenly moves back a tile on frame 21. So again, here, this was frame 20. We're ahead of the rock, basically in the center of this hex tile. And the next frame, we jump back suddenly to the center of the previous hex tile. So I was like, well, that is probably the issue. Why don't we have a look at that? So I explain it, what's going on with those 2 frames. I also want to change the animation rate to 2 for the flyer, because I think the AI just got that backwards. That'll happen, whatever. But how about I say, like once we reset to frame 0, we shift back to this hex tile -1. Maybe we can just not do that and have the animation reset at the second tile, or alternatively have the animation frames happen 1x per hex tile walk, or maybe the culprit is the animation reset at well, actually, no, I'm not saying maybe. I'm saying the culprit is the animation reset at -1x direction tile. So we can either remove that reset factor, add a fudge factor, or change the computation rate of the movement of the frames of animation. We have several options. So now it says you were right, the logic was inverted on the flying rate, so it updates that. Neutralize this walk offset in the X direction snap that we're seeing. So it does some analysis, comes up with something, and I like it, and it looks like it's working. So this was the documentation here. Walk frames do not apply this per frame offset of X during movement. So let's have a look at what the improved build looked like. It's a thing of beauty, I think, if I remember correctly. Oh, that looks so much better. Oh, wow. And what about our... Okay, now it's a little too much. It's a little over-animated, I think. With the flyers. They're a little over-animated, so maybe it's like 1.2 or 1.3 or something. But the battle animation, these peasants are moving so much better as well. So that is just a really, really big improvement. Like I'm really really quite happy with that. We maybe, maybe we need to update the movement speed, but that's just a variable we can tune in the future. But it's really cool to see the actual walking animation work.